So I'm on Lake Waconia in central Minnesota, and I'm going against my never kayak on lakes thing again. And if you saw my previous videos, you know how horribly wrong it went the last time, so I'm hoping this one goes better. But there's an island right offshore here. That's called, they call it the Coney Island of the West. And back in like the 1800s, 1880 to 1920s, it was a huge resort area, and people would come to vacation there all the time, and they had hotels and, you know, a whole bunch of stuff out there. And then by 1960, it had closed down because, you know, cars were becoming more popular, and people could drive and go wherever they wanted to, and didn't need to vacation close to home. So then it became kind of obsolete. But it's like a quarter mile out, and you can see it right in front of us. And up until like, I think 2016, it still had the original buildings from long ago on it. And I'm hoping that some of them are still out there. It's open to the public now, as of, I think, 2016. And I believe that they put like hiking trails and stuff on it. But it's hard to get good information on it. Even on their website, it shows pictures. So I'm assuming some of the stuff they wanted to do has been done. But I guess I don't really know, which is why I wanted to come out here and just kind of check it out. It's a 34-acre island. Well, depending on where you look, some places say 34, some places say 31, but so it's an island that's above 30 acres. And it's had many owners over the years, but the city and somebody else decided to make it a rec area. And so now that's why they're like building it up and making it. They're going to put campgrounds and stuff out there. I don't know if those are there yet. But they're going to make it kind of like an adventure area for people to go to, and eventually have shuttles and stuff that take people out here. And I don't know how far along they are on any of that, but I'm hoping that they're not too far along, and that we get out here and there's remnants of some of the older buildings still there. And that's kind of the whole purpose for going out here in my mind. There's not a whole ton of information on it. I know the U of M football team, for a few years in the early 1900s, would come out here to do their spring training, or, well, wouldn't be spring training, whatever it's called for football. They're training in prep for the season. And they used a chunk of the island for that, which you can see has been overgrown by trees. But that was over 100 years ago. And I've never really gone out on a lake like this, right across. And I'm wondering how safe this is if someone comes flying by with a speedboat. But the wind today is 6 miles an hour. I waited till a day that didn't have strong winds, because I knew I wasn't going to want to cross this if there were winds and like whitecaps or any kind of anything on the lake. So this actually is pretty good. And we should be over there in a few minutes. and we'll see what this island has to offer. So this lake is 3,200 acres, and this island is somewhere between 31 and 34, depending on who you talk to. So that kind of shows you how big this lake is. This island looks kind of cute as we're pulling up to it. A lot of trees. There's a sign they got out there. Let's see what it says when we get up in there. Got the kayak up on shore. We'll kind of start walking through here. See what this sign says. They got picnic tables. Looks like a big bonfire pile of wood. Let's see what they said, but definitely they have a trail that they put in. Ordinances, hours, no camping, campfires. Coney Island is owned and operated by Carver County. Coney Island of the West, a place of discovery. Emergency dial 911. Okay, well let's leave the kayak over there, say goodbye to the water for a minute, and hike in here a little bit and just see what this island is like. The trail's really nice. I'm hoping that there's some remnants of an old building up here. If you like hiking, you probably like this trail because it's a really nice trail. I mean, they did a good job with the trail. I don't know what this is. That might be an old building that they just haven't completely taken apart yet. I don't know, just remnants of something. But this trail is super nice. I just have sandals on, and it's fine for walking. Historic preserved area. Please respect this area. So maybe they will have buildings out here somewhere that we can take a look at. But we'll walk up here a little further, see what we see. Here's another building site. I wish they'd say what this stuff used to be. Just a historic preserved area. Something used to be there. It wasn't very big. Maybe an old cabin or something. But we'll keep walking and see what we come up with out here. Please stay on trail. Okay. Please stay on trail. Is that considered a trail? This is probably considered a trail. That goes down somewhere. But they must, there's no way this pavement is from the 60s, is it? But it's not brand new within the last couple of years. Let's take this because it looks like more of something that might be remnants. There's a pole of some sort. Maybe an old light hung from that, a lantern back in the day. don't know. But there's like some of these trees are, that one's really old right there in front of us. Some of these other ones are newer, like could be since 1960. That one's probably, well, maybe. But yeah, this pavement's all broken up. There's no way this is new. I want us to stay on trail. This is a trail that runs right into those bushes. So now we'll get on this trail, see what we find up here. So I wanted to see remnants of buildings, and I guess there are some. I guess we did see them. I was hoping to see like a full-on building. Be advised, trail ends here. Doesn't even look like there's a trail there. But I wanted to see remnants of buildings, and I guess there were remnants. I wish I would have heard about this place, 5-6 years ago before they started redoing it, to come out here and just check out what it looked like when there were actual like buildings here, or if the buildings had just crumbled. But now we're off the main trail and onto some other trails, so not really sure which direction we're headed. But I'm assuming at some point we will get back to the main trail, which appeared to run all the way around the island, although I'm not really sure that it did. But there's a lot of birds you can hear. Yeah, the main trail's right up here. You can see there's a lot of birds. I don't know if you can hear them on the camera. There's a lot of birds through here. And it's a nice little island, nice little hike. But this must not be heavily advertised, because I've asked a couple people about it and nobody's really heard of it. And it's kind of a cute place to go for a hike, do a little kayaking trip across, and go for a little hike. So you can see from up here, they even have a dock down there. There's picnic tables everywhere. There's a dock down there. I don't know what side of the island we're on. We took that shortcut through the center on that, old paved trail, and I'm not sure how far we had traveled across the island or where we are exactly on the island. It's not very big, so. Fire rings, grills. Like right here, maybe this is being set up to be a campground. Because if you look at that, you could put a tent there, and then you got the table, and that's almost blocked out as something. Let's just walk through here. Yeah, this might be the future campground. I mean, they're saying right now no camping, but on their website, here's a huge feather. Look at that feather. I don't even know what that's from. That thing's huge. That's over 1 foot long. But they said there's going to be a campground here, and this looks like they're setting it up for it. Although that's only one fire ring for 2. Well, I'm going to walk up over here just to kind of get my bearings, see if I recognize where we came out of. That looks maybe a little too far away to be the side that we came. That looks like the side we came out of, how close it is over there. That's a dead end. It's a cute little place to go if you're looking for like a day trip. Although I don't know if I'd want to do it on a Saturday or a Sunday. There's kind of a lot of boats right now. It's during the week and in the morning too, and there's kind of a lot of boats out there. I only came across like one while I was kayaking, but I could see on a Saturday or Sunday it being like, you know, hard to paddle out there with all the people that would be boating around. But it's a nice place to go. And I suppose if you had a group of people on kayaks where you were more visible, it would probably be better. Just see where this one goes. Okay, more orange construction tape. That looks like they just tore something out. Keep out. Just a pile of rubble. There's trails going off everywhere back here. Like they have the main trail, which I already got off of and started walking on the other trail, so I'm not really sure right now. I think we're headed back. We're on the main trail. I think we're headed back the way we were. Now we're back to this already. Yeah, this island's really small. Got a rock in my shoe. This island's really small. We're back to this road that I went up already. This is that road that we went up, and it said to please stay on trail. So we're already back to where I was before I got off trail. So it's not a very big island. I don't know if you went up and down all the side trails, you could maybe spend an hour or two out here if you tried, but you'd probably have to try. And if that campground opens up over there, that would be a pretty cool place to camp. And it looked like there was a dock that they had put in right by there. Getting rocks out of my shoe. There was a dock right there, so you would just kayak your way up to the campsites. And I didn't really look to see, I mean, I'm assuming that that's what that is. I didn't really look to see how many were there, but there had to have been less than 10, but there was more than 5 or 6. So there'd be plenty of sites out there. Yeah, back to this again. But we already walked past this, I believe. A lot of birds. But yeah, it's super nice out here. I mean, I'm the only one out here as far as I can tell. I haven't seen anybody. I was the only one at that landing. It's too bad we're already back to it. Yeah, I mean, it's not a very big island, but there's a lot you could just hike through and, you know, come have a little fire and sit and hang out with your friends. And if you went up all these side trails, you could really extend the amount of time you're out here. But I believe this is right back to where we started. We got picnic area right over here too. I think over where we were with the camp, where I thought was a campground, I think that's where the football team, the Gophers, assuming it was called Gophers back then, University of Minnesota football team, I think that's where they practiced, was over by there. Although this area, they either cleared this area or not as many trees were here. But yeah, this is how, it's not even far across. I can see the water right on the other side of this. Oh, it's all just picnicky area there. More piles of wood. Looks like a tractor or something back there too. So that was well worth the hike through and the kayak out here for. It's really cute, and it's a good day trip for somebody that if you live anywhere nearby here. And right now there's no water in any of the rivers, so doing a bit of a drive just to find a place to kayak, you know, is not out of the question, because there's not really anywhere to kayak right now. And the rivers are all down to pretty much nothing at this point. So, but here we are. That's where we went out of, right across there. So we'll just head back. So this whole trip, including the kayaking across and the hike around the island, I don't know what time it is, but I doubt it took 2 hours. So it's kind of a nice little quick trip if you're looking for something to do, and you could obviously spend way more time than I did, you know, hiking up all the different trails instead of, I mean, I only took one of the side trails. I mainly stayed on the main trail and just took that one side trail. And I mean, you could kayak all the way around the island, see it from all sides if you wanted. You could turn it into a longer day, or just use it as a quick little, you know, half-day trip, 2-3 hour, you know, trip. So I'm going to end this video here, and I'm going to amend my never kayak lakes. I still don't like kayaking lakes. I don't even like this right now, kayaking. I don't like the idea of boats flying around, and I much prefer rivers, but there aren't any right now with any water in the state of Minnesota. Except the Mississippi has some, and I already did that one. So I'm going to end this here, but I'm going to say that if I can find lakes that I can go out and I can go to an island like that, hike around, and have like a purpose other than just kayaking around the lake or whatever people do when they kayak lakes, I don't know. I would say this is actually a really good lake to kayak. I mean, I got here on a good day. It's calm. There's very little boat traffic. I mean, there's been a lot of boats, but it's not bad at all for how big the lake is. And you know, the no wind calm day helps a lot too. But this is a good place to go if you're nearby here. It's in the city of Waconia. You can see, I don't know if you can see on the camera, the water tower right there. So we're kind of in the heart of Waconia. The city, driving through it, the city of Waconia was really cute. It was like old looking, like an old school town, and it was really cute. I think it's a decent sized city because I had heard of it before. It's not like it's a city you wouldn't have heard of. But yeah, it's a nice place to paddle. And for me to say that about a lake, you know, it's got to be something good, because I don't say that about lakes, period. So I'm going to end this at this. And if you like this kind of stuff, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.